Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Alpha 3.3.5 with Hurston is already in its first wave wider PTU, meaning that subscribers and concierge have access to it, but more importantly, this patch, this release, does not have an NDA on it, so we can talk about the patch notes and additions. It's important to know that this patch doesn't contain all of the intended features that are going to be in 3.3.5 and beyond. Obviously, it's a partial state, this PTU, as pretty much all PTUs are, and they have testing focuses. So, testing focus for this current first wider PTU patch is for Hurston, Aberdeen, Ariel, Ita, and Magda, which are the moons there, the rest stops, the transit shopping and assets there, as well as Lorville, transit landing and shopping there as well. The new features, they've added the planet Hurston. Hurston is the first planetary location, and as such is considerably larger than moons and consists of a variety of biomes. Additionally, you will find several outposts labelled HMC, Hurston Mining Centres, and derelicts scattered about the surface. There's some new moons, obviously Aberdeen, Magda, Ariel, and Ita, populated with some outposts there, and a single biome for each, I believe. There's a new major landing zone in the form of Lorville. Lorville is a large city area, and as such has only one legal area for landing and port entry. Space above residential and commercial areas are protected by a no-fly zone. Players will be warned when they are entering that zone via HUD warnings, visual indicators, and increasing audio alerts if they come into the zone. Their ship will be destroyed, though, if you go into the zone that you are not supposed to. Naughty, naughty. To move around the city, there is a train-style transit system and signs to help guide the way. Hurston clothing and armor variants have been added. Players now have expanded interactions with some items, allowing you to pick those items up and look at them and place them down and carry them around with you. The landing markers on Port Olisar should no longer appear to flicker. Cargo boxes should no longer become stuck to the player's feet and legs, and they fixed 4 additional crashes. There are some major known issues with the patch. Adding contacts can cause the client to freeze, so the workaround is to add contacts by following each other on the PTU website. At Lorville, the air traffic control there is not cleaning up ships, preventing landing and ship spawning. Land in any available open hangar, regardless of permissions, is the workaround. However, that's not necessarily sensible. Admins and mission givers may get into an unresponsive state as well. So the reason that wasn't a sensible idea is because you are effectively then trapped at Lorville. So just bear that in mind. Quantum travel, so ships travel in quantum at different speeds. This is a lot more obvious due to the distance between Crusader and Hurston. So small fighters take 10 to 12 minutes to get to Hurston from Crusader. Medium ships, 6 to 8 minutes-ish. Larger ships like the Hammerhead, 6 minutes or under. I suspect we will have a lot more of a difference between individual quantum drives in the size 1 to 3 range. Obviously, larger ones, when we have larger ones, maybe they will consume fuel more quickly but are faster, and maybe consume fuel less quickly, be more efficient but take you there slower, that sort of stuff. So bear that in mind for when you're customizing your ship in the future, and I'll test that out in a later patch when we know that they actually work properly. New shops, so players have been given 5 million Alpha UEC to test with the PTU. There are a variety of extra ships to buy at New Deal in Lorville, at the spaceport there. An M50, a Mustang Beta, Constellation, a Hammerhead, an Aurora, a Prospector. That Constellation is actually a Phoenix as well, which might anger some people, but obviously they will balance this stuff, and some of these ships will become more expensive and that sort of stuff. The Vantage rental help desk is in the spaceport as well. So Vantage rentals are going to be the medium by which you rent ships, is the idea. Though it doesn't currently have any functionality in this patch, this is really needed for players to get access to a range of ships in-game in a timely manner without having to grind their lives away every patch. Because remember, there are going to be resets, so people getting a load of Alpha UC and buying a ship on their account at the moment, if you do that just before there's a patch reset, that's going to be a bit soul-destroying, so bear that in mind. So ship rentals, hopefully in 3.3.5. In the residential workers area district, there's a blocked off entrance to a hospital, which will eventually be flashed out, where we will respawn when we die. But also there's bars, shops. There's the whole new Hurston clothing line available in one of the shops there. You can buy a multi-tool as well, which fits in your utility slot, but I couldn't work out how to use it if you can yet. And the new True Death armor is there. The air is breathable on Hurston as well, so you will see a few more people in clothing, I suspect, without helmets on. Though the bag hats, it is actually a hat rather than a helmet, is quite funny. Transit. So the train system is huge and well labelled around Lorville. A lot of it's blocked off at the moment because they haven't opened all the areas up. You literally just follow the signage of where you want to go. There are a couple of areas and gates. So gates 1 to 6 will take you to the entrances of Lorville. Each of them basically sort of like going off into a different biome. That's not 100% true, but for the most part it is. There is also the spaceport and residential area, which is also known as the Workers' District. The Business District will be opened up in the future, as will probably other residential areas. There is a no-fly zone around Levski. To avoid this, when I come into Levski, I aim straight for the middle of the city and then correct to the slightly flatter starport-looking zone, because that's what it is. It is a starport. Also, you can use other people's ships to navigate there, so you can see lots of ships land on the ground, typically. At least I could. There are issues with spawning at Levski at the moment, though, so try to make sure you have a vehicle of some kind if you want to get yourself trapped at Levski and just look around there. So buy a dragonfly from Teachers before you go there, because you can with the 5 million UEC you've got, and that will allow you to spawn a dragonfly or a vehicle at one of the gates at Levski, so you can at least travel around the planet and go exploring there, rather than having to walking everywhere or wait until they fixed that ship spawn bug. There are a load of rest stops around space now in the CRUL zones, as well as some other places. These are basically replacing the Cryastro services. Lots of people have said, why do you need them if you can actually get to Levski with one... Levski? Not Levski. Lorville with one tank of gas or whatever. And that's because, well, you might be done a load of missions and you might get caught short and you might be traveling to lots of places. So these rest stops are going to be important, and also they're going to be balancing exactly how efficiency works with engines and quantum travel and all that sort of jazz in the future. So having these here is important. And also probably going to start to have missions and areas of interest and more going on around these rest stops as well. So they're not just going to be there for refuel, rearm and repair. There'll also be hubs of activity. Performance-wise, it's pretty clunky around Lorville, but really great around the rest of the verse. My frame rates are around 30 to 45 when I'm in Lorville and coming into land. Last night, when the patch went live, it did actually dip below that. One of the things that I've noticed, obviously there's loads of players around these areas because they want to explore the new thing, but also a load of security guards spawned inside each other. Sometimes you have like 5 or 6 guards inside each other, and then a cluster of 4, so that's like 20 NPCs that are all sharing the same space. That bug needs to be fixed, and I think might be contributing to the poor frame rate, but there's loads going on there. Object container streaming should be able to cut up the areas more efficiently and mean that we don't have terrible frame rates. And that's the idea of it. Obviously, it just needs to be optimized for Lorville and make it sound very simple, and we'll have to wait and see if they give us significant improvements throughout this patch process with the PTU. The moons have what all appears to be a single biome, but there wasn't any new missions that popped up for me in this patch in the couple of sessions I've played it, and that's true of Hurston as well. No new missions that I've seen. I know they are going to be adding them, but it's PTU, so they just sort of like add stuff in steps. The 3 major things I'd like CIG to work on for this patch in the shorter term are NPCs, mission givers, that sort of stuff, becoming unresponsive and clipping into each other. Just the NPC problem in general. It's been a long-term intermittent problem with NPCs just not working when you want to finish off a mission, or the mission givers just not talking to you when you've got a mission to talk to them, or whatever. That is really annoying. That is really annoying. I want to be able to have access to all of those missions. And NPCs, as soon as they're not clipping inside each other and they're moving around a bit less derpily and don't just stop responding randomly, just look around, that's going to be a lot better. That's going to make the game feel a lot more alive. The NPCs that come into land in ships, they actually seem to work relatively well. So you have like ships coming down from orbit, from quantum travel. They land at Tisa spaceport, and then they stay there for a while, and then they go back into orbit and quantum travel off. And it makes the sort of like place feel a lot more alive. So performance it needs to be solved for this. Object container streaming, as I said, should be able to handle and break up the city into manageable chunks. I don't really want to have sub 60 frames anymore, but obviously we'll see where that goes. Being able to spawn ships at the spaceport would be nice as well. That's one of the other major things. But I also think there should be the ability to rent vehicles at the gate. So at each of the 6 gates, having a vehicle rental service there, rather than just the spawn terminals, would be pretty damn useful. You just have a line of vehicles which you can go up to and just rent, or buy or whatever, just on like show there. That would be really, really useful. There's a good mix of biomes on Hurston as well, so we will do some videos exploring that in a bit more detail, especially when we have more accessibility to that planet and we're not trapped in Lorville. But I'm looking forward to them fixing some of those issues and giving us a lot more accessibility to the game in the next PTU patch. It does look like it could go live pretty soon, though. I am expecting a live build of 3.3.5 for Friday the 23rd of November, potentially. Mainly because that's when I think they're doing the anniversary sale, and it just makes sense from a marketing point of view to push for that date. But tell me what you think in the comments below. If you don't have Star Citizen yet, be sure to create an account with the links below to receive 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, as a bonus, and to participate in any free flight. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, I am giving away a Saber Raven, Star Citizen game package, and a CitizenCon 2948 digital goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details below. If you would like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and donations are down in the description below as well. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.